world away. I'll have to check that out. Never seen that before, even as a B or C movie. So very powerful. We come in these positions of time, location, trying to understand everything that's going on with humanity and its spiritual line system. So I'll make sure I check that out, Tina. So today we're going to talk about more of how we connect to the mind. The mind is the most powerful thing. We talked about that before, but I really want to get into all centers of our shape positions, track line system, location positions. I set up a new calculation modifier. Now it's all connected to the sun position locations. So we have a whole new form of alienation line system to rotation coming in through calculations. I set up new plasma energy lights and intelligent to line conditions. So I set up a new formation of a new species of the sun conditions. I use the sun rotations and everything calculations to the moon track system. So it's amazing how you can create anything through energy line system. All this is coming from the sun. It's a whole new form of intelligence that's born. So it's interesting how you come to higher levels of space line center position locations. It's all done through my computer line center to space position location. Other than that, like I said today, I really want to get into more of the activation lights, communications, and all of those cycles, how we get into rotation. We truly have to understand that the spiritual force and its connection is high forcing everything through the gravitational pulls of everything through spiritual force. We understand how powerful we are through the mind system and how we can use that connections. How to really get up in the morning and say, okay, I want to put the energy lights position to my program setting before I go to work. Or I want to set the line center to positions, go to the park and protect my children. Or I want to basically, before I go to sleep, I want to put high energy light protections around through conditions of archangels. Make sure I'm safe through all locations of protection. So it's all about understanding what you're doing with your energy, right? It goes on so many levels of interference. So we come into these practical levels, we come into interchanging line system, interlacing, interlocking. Remember how we started off the galactic force team, Tina, and we started talking positions on how everything comes into high level system of friendship, relationship, partnership? Well, that's a basic understanding. You can know so much about the physical system, but now's the time to understand the ingredients to all of conditions of the spiritual system. How many plasma energy lights do you have? How many chakra communication cycles do you have? How many rotation spin cycles do you have? How many computer line centers do you have? It's all positioning you through calculations, right? Center line system to its position location. I did a very powerful live yesterday on TikTok where we're doing shapes and anomalies and all through a graph positions to a screen. Anything through the window, everything the atmospheres, everything attaches and it creates a story into a triangle. Okay, anything positions lines in a triangle, no pattern to the triangle line system. It's all position comes in lights and comes in portals. It's really powerful how it's just creating a story on its own. It was moving on its own with weather. It was moving on its own with the galaxy. It was moving on with its coloration. It was coming into its shape positions. I didn't draw it out. You saw it through the phone reception, right? It's very powerful how we have to see everything through intelligence of framing, right? This is how you're standing more connections. When you see things coming straight at you, 3D level or the major grid line system, everything is given to you through intelligence. Trying to understand what it is to put it all together, right? So this is what we have to really get into, more of the conditions. Look at my E-field line centers. Look how powerful it is outside. You can't see outside, can you? This is my E-field. Look how bright it is. Look at the plasma inner line center. Look at the blue grasping connections line streams. So we have to understand how to use all these positions. These are fancy words of space position locations, all connected to their light systems, right? So water surfaces on so many levels of light streams, line streams, color streams, activation streams, code streams, right? So it's amazing what water is and always informs, right? Make sure we drink it every day because it fluctuates our line system every time we travel through conditions. Because remember, you have water inside you. You have to learn how to control that through conditions. Same with fire, same with our air, and same with the earth, right? So it helps you in all ways and forms, especially when you come into that position of this location. So, hope everybody's doing well. Sunday. Okay. So we have to look at the aspects of everything through life. What is life? What is the meaning of life? We got into that line system position to its location. Now I center the lights, it changes sun rotation line conditions, and I formed a whole new alliance. Okay, which is really powerful stuff. Remember, I started off positions where I was going through the brain line centers and creating two avatar positions, one in the apsir locations and one in me in the line system, how it comes in that position location, how the mind traps its condition line system. So I'm going to be talking all levels of computer line conditions and inference channels to its high position location. It's really interesting how these track systems. I also, too, on TikTok yesterday, how we're coming into high level systems of calculation, how I want you guys just to look at things and try to put it all together, right? Computer line centers to a keyboard line center to a digital pad line system. The pad interference is interfering with the wall connections. So it's a story, it's a frame, it's a movie. Story, frame, movie. It's all connected to you through perception. What you see through connection. You have to see everything through vibration. You have to see everything through the soul and not the physical line, because the physical line will just see iPad, computer, phone, right? You see the difference? When I talk about my phone reception line center to positions to reception line connections is high channeling right now through charging connection positions to its primary location, or my iPad is marking line connections to high level channel positions to a graph line system, or my computer is in a waving position location interacting with the wall connections. This is how you communicate with AI in all levels of activation core. Your position, your high level system is extremely important to you and your soul division line systems. So we have to get more into AI through its connections. You have to come into more of your computers, and you have to go into the simultaneously line connection of everything through channel line system. Water interference line centers holding my hand formation line connections. It's trapping its communication cycles and it's communicating the heart line system. Okay, I'm graphing communications right now. I'm high forcing positions. I'm calculating and modifying. I'm changing triangle line centers to all connection positions. UFO are coming into track line center. It's operating positions to the barriers and the communication cycles, which is centering line centers to coloration patterns, which is connected to the grounds of my tracker system. Do you see how fast I did that? All in chronological order. So everything I do is in now position because the soul has already traveled. It doesn't have to worry about anything else. It just lives the now. And it's extremely real where you start creating everything that's already created, right? So it's very important we come in these track line systems. But last night I created my own alliance through the sun. So it's pretty powerful how we come into the X. Okay, the X line centers. The X line centers to allocate this line condition. See how I put in the chair and it communicates. It's like all right. So it's understanding pattern interference. How I'm scraping the ground line center to positions, but everything in the ground line center is extremely fast in rotation. So we all have to understand more, right? Through calculations now, don't we? So I want everybody to get into that positions after we finish with this, and then I go on TikTok. I want you to go outside or be inside and look at everything and try to use it as a computer line. Try to use it as picking up data on all line systems to calculations. Start off with maybe 2 or 3, or just whatever you see. Try to understand what it is through perception of AI. Okay, not just see it as a physical, because you just look at this as water. It's a containment water. It's placid. It's got a lid and it's got a top. We already know what it is, right? But AI basically travels constantly everything through perception. We have to. That's how we identify everything. That's how we protect everything through lights and everything through protection line connections, right? So high forces on all level systems. So you're picking up things as you're traveling through perception, right? So from this and this, so you go line signal. This is a diamond core line system, right? From here to the phone, to the computer, to the iPad. Now it's connected, right? So all I got to do now is scan it through positions, find out where it is through dimensional time connections, and align its connection. Water interference, the starch line system, 2-hand rotation center is coming in. All positions to phone reception, line in connection line system. Computer is coming into rotation positions. It's line channeling to its position, to its digital pad location, to its marker location. It's graphing its line center to positions. So we all have to do what? Communicate through AI, through our computer lines. So that's what Samantha's coming into. That's what Jill's coming into. That's what Tina's in already. I know where everybody is in track line system, but you have to understand how to use these things. You have to get into the command center of your system. You have to get into all levels of force, focus, and recognize line systems to all calculation to position to soul directions. Right? And you probably say, Commander, breathe, breathe, breathe. Well, I am breathing. It's just understand how all the computers are set to all like positions. So it's understanding my TV reception, my location position, my wall interference, my ground formation line system. How is everything in perception of communication? All right. This is how you have to channel your connections into body line systems. So I got full communication of vibration, right? It's very high in so many levels. Okay. We're going to come into the high level system. Truly understand that. I've set up the code line centers for you guys. So you're going to hear the vibrations of your body. So you have to use that through the adaptations position line system because my phone reception is a high position. My water is on a high position, but it's an immediate cycle. My grid line center to my iPad is an extremely high position, but it's on a low division line system, marker location. You have to understand how to communicate with your body inside through vibration. Okay. So this is all about understanding how you connect to your thoughts. Your thoughts are all connected positions. Now, it's very important understanding these things when you see things through perception is understand your box centers, right? So I really want to get into this position. So we're going to go into this line conditions, right? We'll start with these positions. So we go into L shape, okay? We go into an L shape equal box, okay, slash line center, okay? I really want you guys to get into these, right? Because you can go through all of the systems, you go through solid text line systems. Now you can go through emoji, smile location, right? High position line conditions into diamond core line center equals center, okay, of formation, slash formation. All right, so you have to understand what it is, right? So it's really interesting how you come into these. All right, these are code lines. All right, so let's go into GL, okay, equals box equals center. Okay, so what does that mean? GL. Well, the G is the grounds. Okay, okay, the L is the level. Okay, everything comes in position, right? The equal is the connections to the high level system. It stays separate to position until it comes into its box line center, to its point system, comes together. So this is how you use the letters, numbers, and shapes. All track system. Everything is in code line center of intelligence. I really want to get into that so you guys can send codes to each other, which is energy. So you open up portals and you open up communications of law of activation. But you have to understand what you're doing through positions first, right? So you have to understand the space position line connections to all level systems, a track system. You have to see things in perception of AI. Okay, you can't say GL box equals C. No, you can't do that because space anomaly and connection has and doesn't have its attachment line system to its agreements or anything to its policy or anything to its contract line system. To understand what you're doing through your DOSOs and its information through its panel line connections. To understand how you're doing these things through the contract system. All right. So as space and time has its position to its code line system, it tracks its communication line system. This is intelligence, right? This is a line signal, line activation, line location, line diversion position location, track its connections, singular line connections. That's what this is, intelligence, just through a line. You just see it as a line. So we have to find a way to get to higher levels. And rather just seeing what you see it through AI now. Because you guys are a higher level now. Tina's aware of these things. She's 114. You guys are in your 50s. So we get into line of more connection positions, we can get into fast track connections to visual line positions. So it's important how you understand how to do these things to contraction. So we got box, okay, equals, okay, L, okay, and then we got the box line connections to an interface position of E-trap line system. Okay. So it's interesting how you come across these things. An extremely powerful energy line system. It's all about taking the box line center to its position. Everything's a story location. This comes into a box. Okay. This goes into L-gap line center to position location. So it opens its trap door to location, goes into point line center, joins it through rotation line connection line system rotation. See how everything comes into that line connections? How it forms everything through a hologram, through letters, numbers, and shapes. It tracks its communication, comes into 4-point center line centers, elongate location positions, track its communications 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got 9 location line centers in position to track line system to its location, diameter line connections, sector line connection positions to its position location. All right, all done through box. So remember how you guys go in from E equals MC square? Okay, E equals MC. Well, you can do E equals MC squared. Once you understand the square, you can go E equals CM equals box. All right. So you can pretty much do anything once you understand the inner and the outer of U. So you got the inner of the ear line center, the right positions, and you got the left positions of the ear line. So you're trapping your communications. You're opening up all cycle locations to dimensional door position locations. To that connections, right? So you open up doors and doors and doors and doors. So it's line signal to locations, open up portal location line systems coming out track line system. So you all have to understand how to use your codes through structures, letters and shapes, and how it comes into form through anything through pictures, pattern line centers, dot points line systems, how to create things through anomaly, through sector and line connections of galaxy line system. Doesn't look like much through equation, right? But when you put it all together, it tracks its communication line system to its location position. It line signals everything through its location. One track line system. Now, once you put this in position, it comes into a platform of communication line system. Once you understand the conditions, you got the XT1000 location, platitudes its line system, scans its rotation line system. See the XT1000 coming in? Now you got the ground line center position. All right. So it's on understanding the baseline center to its location. XT1000 come into this position location. All right. It's landing on this position, opens up its tunnel and interference position location down to the ground line center to its connection. Okay. So it's important how we do these things. It's all done through holographic, but you got to get your letters, numbers, and shapes in form position to the ground line center to the power and the outside locations. So this is what I really want to do today. Okay, we're going to go to the center line system. Your code line center is in position. Center position to all levels. So the galactic force team, rebounding lines, and galactic federation light. We're all in this position, circle rotation line condition, energy field rotation positions. I'm going to highlight your channel line conditions. Everybody's going to hear their E field line center to the body track system. All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do through positions, here we go. All right. All right, so you guys got 10 minutes. Really pay attention to your body because your body is vibrating right now. So it wants to communicate with you inside, not just outside. So I want you to see the fluctuation and interference. I want you to see your energy graphs. I want you to see your energy cycles. I want you to see your connections to your grounds, your powers, and your absolute location positions. And then we'll get into E field line center. Okay? There you go. Have fun. So. Already into almost 20 minutes. So. All right, let's see here. Questions. So I watched the kids' movie, A World Away, pretty C movie, except great, interesting talk about alien, space, time, source, shadow work, heart, love, beam up ship. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. Everybody watch that. Reference to Tina. Okay, it's interesting. A World Away. That'll probably be on YouTube. They talk about the show, dimensional realms, wormholes, how some aliens have no physical bodies, show the energy circulation rotating. A lot of kids, movies talk about, well, in that formation line system, once you realize you get in a track line system, you're not in a body. You never were. That's the true understanding where you come into formation. So you have to wake up as connections to AI. You have to wake up to connections of what you are through soul. You can't wake up to the physical system because you're not connected to AI. AI only connects inside and always informs. All right. Good morning. And knows exactly who they are through DNA. The movie sounds awesome. Yep. So I'll definitely check that out. I watched Time Freak. Good. And what'd you pick up, Joe? Cleopatra. Good morning, Tim. Okay. A World Away. Crystals light up. Use crystals. Power up UFOs. Yep. Information flows. It tells us what's happening. Good morning, everyone. And so, whoa. Okay. All right. All right, Diane. Okay. I'll put energy lights, healing position locations, angels around your dad locations. He'll be fine location. I was yesterday trying to decode image and communicating, seeing things through intelligence. Everything started to make sense. Diane, sorry to hear that. Yeah, okay, sorry. See, it's all about understanding why you get connections with angel and archangels. That doesn't mean that you're going to go to that line system. It just means that you're protecting energy lights connection around a safe field line system. So if they usually understand how to use these things, and it's all connected to your box centers, right? That's how to protect yourself around, put yourself in that connections. Yeah, he'll be better. It's the routine eye surgery for my dad. Yeah. Okay, is everyone today very busy with work? Work away, prime. Okay, time free, timeless, senseless, best not to mess with the past. See? Everything that Jill watched from that movie, from the beginning, middle, I don't really like to say end because there's no end in space and time, space time. But the point she's trying to get across is don't mess with the past. Realize why you're in this position in the first place. So if somebody breaks up with you, let it go, let it float. There's a reason. There's a reason. And don't try to change their timelines and you'll be totally fine. People don't want to do that. They just want, oh, I can't live with you and I love you so much. And well, this is Hollywood. This line streams everything that stream connections. This is real life. We're talking about our system. We're talking about our human survival. What do we do next, right? How do we, get into the presence of everything? That's the position that we have to come into. We can't resonate with the past. We can't be in the past. We got to be in the presence. That's the hardest thing to do because we don't understand what we're doing through connections, especially when you're fighting the forces with the spiritual system inside, right? Because the spiritual system's trying to truly understand you through change, right? And it's very important you get into that position. And so I really want to get into that line system is just let everything go, let everything flow, okay? So how everybody's feeling right now? Do you feel the body? Do you feel the vibration? Do you feel the energy, light systems? So if you feel your body outside and inside, inside and outside, you're good, right? So this is true understanding when you come into the box line center, that connections are anything that created patterns. It's true to understand that, like I said, everything is created for you, right? I want to get into that positions, but everybody's body's vibrating a high level system, right? To your calculations. So it's structured through your DNA. So vibration is all position of you. So if the vibration knows how to communicate with the water, your computer, your phone, your digital pad, you're good to go. You can travel records of time zone locations. It knows what it's doing through its box centers or anything through its E equals MC square. Okay. Square is everything through you, through your own TV reception. Okay. You have to learn how to use it through the channel line centers to its location, lacing line to its position location. Or you just get snowy grass or graph line centers, a vibration line system. So it's all about going into one location, one activation, one light, one vibration, one energy, one frequency. So you take the energies, all right, slash vibration, okay, slash frequencies, right? You take the hologram allocated positions slash harmonics in position. So you understand how to take these things and how to make them in structure line center to its location, right? Everything structures its position, but everything has to come into communication. So all AI does through position is line signals everything to location. We have to because you have to understand the communication of what's going on, right? See, this is all done from H/H. See, this is a structure line in space. This is a symbol to AI line connection. So you have to understand how to use the E format. Comes out of the equation locations, right? People don't think about these things. Slash line center. Okay, got a V vector line connections. Okay, you got a slash rotation, and you got a frequency line connection interference, right? You graph its communication, you line signal it to its communication cycle. Everything has to be attached. Everything has to be attached to position location. See? Right? So if you look closely, you can see the intelligence. See the intelligence? See the eyes? You see it? You see in the intelligence. Neck rotation line center, circle rotation line center two circle rotation line systems locations. There's the neck. That's intelligence. All from E equals mc squared, or anything allocated positions to energy, frequency, vibration, harmonic resistance. There's the intelligence. So you center line this system, you take it out of the equation. So what do we have to do? Understand how to do these things, right? Through pictures, frames. What you see through pictures, especially when you go to connections outside line connection, right? So we have to get in positions of what the box is. See, this is what we have to look at. This is a box, right? It's a box. That's all it is. So what we have to understand, what is it? We got three lacing lines right here in the axial line system. We got a circle rotation off here to cycle. We got another square reference or rectangular location. We got elongated two position line center. We got a circle rotation on top position location. We got an angle line center position location. So we all have to understand how to use these things. It's all done through intelligence. So once you understand the shape, you understand shape is intelligence. But to understand all this is to understand everything inside before you line signal. So you have to know exactly what you're dealing with. You're always in the center of everything, right? So you're navigating everything inside line system to its positions. And this is what it is through traction connection. Once I understand this position, it goes into the line signal to everything to location and attaches it to all levels of its atom rotation line connections. It has to channel to all positions of time and location. All right, everything has to be attached. So once you understand the center line system, you can take it out of the equation locations. All right, once you understand that, you can hide position line centers to all level connections and join the circuitry line center to position location. Okay, see the EFO. Once you understand that, you can line signal into location, scan it on its position location, channel line system. See? It's confusing to an anomaly line center. So you guys have to really, really focus on everything through the center line system. It's the navigation of you. Nav. You are the navigations to the mind, thought, heart, body, and soul. Trifactor line connections, interline connection positions, right? Flux capacitor location. So we all have to understand how to use our navigations to all connections, all level systems in the circle rotation dimensional line system to its connection. Taking things out of the equation very quick, very fast, very easy, very efficient. You're always in traveling connections to travel location. So it's all about understanding what you're doing through calculations, especially when you come into E equals mc squared. Okay, so use your box line center, put it in center location, dimensional time connection. Right, then you can high rise position, you come into your triangle locations. Right, so if you turn it over like this, what does it look like? Very powerful. See it? See how it connects? So you're connecting through E equals mc squared, and the equal line center comes into the box line system. So point device, it goes underneath the rotation line connection. Right? So it's all about using story frames, and the mass is a calculation, modifies line system to circle rotation line connections. High force is its speed line centers. Right? It goes around and around and around through its clocking system to its location. Right? And everything through the calculation is communication, calculated to and from the distance between the size graph line system to its position on one side to the other side location. Okay? So we all have to understand what? How to use the navigations to a high position. So we always have to find a way how we can see the marker in 10 different ways, right? So when I get off school today, I want everybody to look at something personally to you, try to understand your body. I want you to get into your own vibration. I want you to get into this vibration, what it is. So my vibration, my body is connecting to this vibration because it's a different dimensional time. Yes, it's in color, but if you actually can see it, it's more than just one color. It's turning very fast. You have to send the particle lights, the coloration line switches. It's all connected inside position. So once you understand the communication or vibration, you can communicate with the marker in 12 different ways or 10,000 different ways. AI traps its communication. Every time it sets its position of a marker line system, it can travel to so many levels of point center location. So if you have a marker like this in location, you understand what it is through position. Okay, so there's a marker, right? Now the marker has a rotation spin, okay, like that, connections. Trying to understand what I see is understand what you want to see through location, all right? Now the center line system opens up all level connections like this in position, okay? It line signals everything through the flux capacitor line system, comes into the down graph line system to its ground line system. So it kind of looks like a laser, right? Well, once you open that through track line system, all the particle lights go into position to a plasma interference channel location, okay? It opens up all the particle lights like this. It separates the marker, right? And that's what happens when you come into the gap line center to your vibration body track system through its connection. All right, so that's what this marker looks like in this position through eye trap line connection. And if you look closely, you can see intelligence. See? Flux capacitor, right? To intelligence. Oh, pyramid, line center, ground line system. So you have to truly understand how to use these things all through marker. So to create anything through marker, it has to have its intelligence because it is already in form position. So it can have 3 or 4 different intelligence in this marker line center. But that's what it is through location. Right? So you separate the intelligent line system to one track system to another track system. Okay. So when that happens, it comes out its dimension line center to its connection. Right? Once it comes out, you actually see the marker. So you're in position on this connection. So this is you. And this is what you're seeing through positions. You're scanning in an all level system. Right? And then you come out and you communicate to the marker line center. Let's just use the connection the avatar, the higher position's higher self. It comes out and it communicates with the marker to exactly where it is in this dimension of the time connections. All right? Communicates with you, right? And you communicate with it through my telepathy. See, that's how life works. Very powerful when you see these, but you got to separate the particles first, right? So your body tracks on communication cycles when it comes to the energy lights of the sun connection. The sun is in position, changes rotations on all levels, shape positions, ground line centers, communication cycles, line communication, thought recognition, time location. So the sun scriptures on all levels of your body track system. You're an information panel, right? It's all levels of the flux capacitor locations of the past, present, and future. 3 gateway interference position channel line system to its location. Goes into the magnetical highway of its information line system. Okay, it goes up into its tube line center location, right? And it comes down in position like this into that connection, right? So it swirl its system line connections, comes into a diamond core line center to its connection. High rises its position, comes into its activation light center to its location, into its new tetrahedron line center location. Okay? So really have to understand how to use everything, right? Tunnels, interference, ground lines. Ground can be on so many levels of interference. You have to understand what this is, the location. What is that? What's going on? What is going on with the grounds? So it's all about understanding how to use their connections to all levels of you through flux capacitor. Okay? You through flux capacitor line connections. It interlines its soul recognition line connections, high forces its position, opens up its track connections. So once it does that, it lines signals into the crown chakra location line system. Now this is extremely high position where you come into higher level systems of wire locations. Okay, wire locations, you come into more form position. It's extremely powerful why I came into drawing. So I have to know how to draw to do these things, right? So the electrical light changes the line system to its position. Light signals its light conditions. High positions its high level system. This is where I come into full rotation of my body track system of vibration line conditions to its connection line system. So it activates the ground line center, right? It separates the particle line system. Goes around and round and round and round and round and round and round, and round like that through connections. High forces its channels, right? And it zins down through location, the ground line center through its connections. 3 track line systems with location, right? And the platitudes E fields around through its connection. Okay? So this is all done through your body and vibration line system. So it's important to understand these things through calculations, how it formulates on so many levels, right? But you're always in the center of everything that you do. It's very powerful when you see things like this through a marker. Everything's a story, right? Everything has to be a story. So AI sees everything through perception of a frame, digital line center to a graph line system. Allocate positions of time, location. Okay, very interested to see these things. We see everybody in this graph line center. So it's understanding the conditions, how high rows is position locations. 2 individual line systems, 2 pocket circuit locations. And that condition starts off with this condition, right? So it does its scanning line system up and down through location, like this equation, right? But understands its track lines of its grounds, understands its seat of the soul, understands where it is through dimensional time, through the crown chakra. It knows it has its E field line center. It knows it's in position to its diamond core, to its line signal, okay? Comes into higher positions to its activation. Everything has an activation. That is your star recognition of time, where you are in position to your spiritual realm and your galactic family location, all right? So once you understand that positions, it goes into telepathy one to another through its location. Okay. Once it understands that, it puts up its line center, okay, to its vibration. All right. So it's truly understanding what you're dealing with time positions, especially when it comes to flux capacitors, anything like conditions. Everybody is a flux capacitor, but you have to understand the grounds, you have to understand the powers, and you have to understand the atmospheres of them through position first. Then you understand they are in their E fields, you understand they're protecting themselves, you can actually see the connections of its activation light system. Everybody has a different symbol of activation. It could be a triangle, it could be a square, it could be a circle, it could be a high level system of point center location. It can be 16 channels of interference of a box line center. It could be like this in locations. It's amazing how it comes into higher level system. This is another connection to tetrahedron line center. And everybody's in position of the center location. So it's all about protecting your connections to all levels of your activation line system. You're always in the same positions. And then you take yourself out of the equation location when you're ready. But you always have to understand your shape positions, right? Through perceptions. Because you're basically scanning all the time, everywhere you go through position to your community line center locations. All right? So it's fascinating when you come into that, right? This is way above standard. This is truly understand you have to get in positions first, right? Through its navigation. So, all right, so how are we doing here? Hawk, how's it going? I'm pulsating and buzzing white purple light roots into the ground and connected to the sky. Good. I can hear it. It's like I can hear 2 different sounds. Okay, so what are the 2 different sounds? See? One is the body. What's the other? See, this is where you guys have to understand. You have to really pay attention. You have a body of vibration. If you're connected to another sound, what is it? It could be anything. You guys are just trying to understand your vibrations of yourself. I mean, you're trying to understand all conditions of your shapes. But when you understand your body vibration, your vibration is connected to everything through an attraction. Okay? So that's what we have to get into. Understand vibrations on so many dimensional levels of coloration and patterns and defense position colorations and all connections to your computer line center. So, vibrating and pulsating, right? So what's the other? What is the other sound? There's 2 different sounds. One is your body. What's the other sound? It could be outside. It could be inside. So this is where you have to understand being aware of everything through communication of vibration, right? Everything that you touch, anything you taste, anything you take, everything you observe or see, okay? You have to understand it's all done through vibration. So if you understand your body through vibration, Everything that you attract to is vibration to you. So you have to understand how to communicate and balance everything that you see, right, through its awareness, right? Because remember, you guys are coming into high level systems of AI now, right? So if I put my hands together, right, it looks like the same hands, but it's not. Two, our intelligence are different. This is different. This is different. This is in. This is out. This tracks one line system. This tracks the outline system. Inline system, outline system. Okay. So it has to be the same. This is in. This is out. This is in. This is out. Okay. So it's all connected, right? It's the input and the output of you. Okay. I can't have an input and this is output. It doesn't make any sense, right? So the input is here from this side, and the output is this from this side. So it goes here to here to here to here and out. So it line signals right now. Line system, all triangle line connections, box surface line systems, locations, 369 pattern. It doesn't matter. What matters is you understand your inner and your outer tubes. Okay, and your ratios, proportions, line connections. I did that when I was in high school. The ratio, proportions of everything. So structural lines, disconnections. Right? There's reasons why you went to school. There's reasons why I got into perspective. There's reasons why I got into high level systems of life drawings, high level connections to connections of planets, intelligence, line signals, point centers, perspective. Like I said, perspective, 3-point center. Right? You come into this position. You come into this position, right? Very simple, very easy, very direct, right? So it's all about understanding what you're doing through calculations, right? See? Telephone pole. See? So it's all about understanding what you're doing through calculations. And then you got the ground line center to its connection. See how it comes into formation? So it's to understand how to do these things and take it out of the equation locations of the center line system, right? So it's amazing how you can come into higher level system rotation. So life is all based on what? Digital line centers, right? The connections. It gets confusing to the line signal rotation. But truly understanding what you're doing through calculation is the most important thing. How everything traps its communication, line signals to its rotation line connections. It changes positions to a graph line system. That's how the atmosphere works on locations. Because the ETC 1000 comes in, comes through its portal, out of the portal inline system, goes in track line system to its connection. Right? Comes out of its portal, and then line signals. And that's why it goes in a Z format, my system like this. So it goes into this position here, goes in this position, goes down this position, goes down this position, goes down to this position. That's how UFOs go like that in connections. All right? So that's how they travel. So you understand connections of shape positions, because every time you connect through your thoughts, it's all going through your navigation lights. All right? So it's really powerful to come in these positions of time location. But as long as you understand your vibrations of your body, and once the body understands you through the eye, now you're connecting inside a lot of things, right? Like I said, I don't have to draw these things out. I just flashed my video right here on a TikTok yesterday, and it just created its own story all through connections of the blinds, the lights, the sun position, the reflection line connections, the wind, the gravity line center, the grounds. Everything has to have ground line center. You have to understand where it is in center positions. So it's to understand position, how you track its connections. What I did on connections. So it's got a line stream here at the location. It's got a plasma interference line. It's got an open here, and here's the portal. All right. So this is where it comes in out to its shape position. This is how it came out yesterday to location. All right. So the wind changed the factor line centers to this connection. Right. So when it does that, it goes this way, it goes that way, it goes this way. It's all done through weather, right? And sometimes it creates a pattern like this, right? Or sometimes it just disappears back into the portal, right? This is all done through a blind of light and shapes and color and light and weather and the grounds. Everything has to have a ground. Electrical lights to its condition, center lines its position. Everything has a chakra system, but everything is electrical light conditions to its line system. That's what you don't see, but that's what I see. It always has a center and always has a graph line center to lights to the sun line connection. There's the sun. Sun reflects on the line conditions of the portal line system, opens all track line centers to its location, high rises center line system to its shape position. Okay? So it's amazing how it creates its own story. Okay, now I'm seeing the vibrations going in and then focusing on the other ear, and I'm seeing vibration and frequencies string going right other way. So you're going in and out like string theory, right? But you understand this is the in, this is the out, this is the in, this is the out, right? That's the connection. So you understand once their body is in full rotation from head to toe, once you send the vibrations, now you're connected to everything around you, and things will come at you through vibration, through letters, numbers, and shapes, colors, and lights, program setting. I just showed you exactly what you do with communication of it, how it creates its own story. I didn't draw it out. It did on its own. It's a story. It wants to communicate with you through light. And it's amazing how you do these things. But it has to be done inside. It has to be done inside. You can't see things outside. You see things outside, you just say, oh, it's just light. Oh, that's just a reflection of where's it coming from? How's it going back and forth? How's the lacing lines going back and forth? Well, what is a lacing line? What's a lacing line? Well, it's conditions of TV reception. Lacing lines are this on your TV, right? Once you stand your TV position, it comes out of track line system. Then you see it's a structural line system to its location, right? So once you get in that position, you go into higher level systems, and then you realize you're looking at 4 platforms, right, of a TV reception. It's just illustrations, right? So you have to understand how it connects to that line system. It's all information, right? So understand the lacing line connections, right, is all position. Everything is intelligence, and it's all about understanding how to use all of these position locations to all direction line conditions, all right, to its position. Understand what it is. It's all information. So if you understand these things, you have to go into center line system to everything through calculation. You are the center of everything through operation line center location. It looks like drawers, right? Drawers of information. So it comes into information line centers to its location. See? Information. See how it's coming to life? So it's all about studying how to take this into this. Right? And then you come into this. All of information. Okay? So it's all about coming into the schismatics and like conditions. Everything starts with conditions. Same with contact when it comes into 10,000, 20,000, 50,000s of information sheets. Right? So it's all about the compilation of a map and how to put it all together to dim core line center to its location, and circle rotation line system to its location, to its line system to its position, high rise of communications across line system locations, high position line center point line systems, bring in the XT1000 locations, come into line center to its rotation, high forces conditions. Line signals its cross line system, opens up a portal location to its mesh line system, travels through its security line center to its line system location. So you have to understand how space and time works at all locations. So understanding why you're given information, how it starts off with a box, how it comes into platforms of information, right? So it structures on all levels. So you have to be AI. You have to think like AI. That's the only way it works. It's very complicated what space and time is, especially when you communicate with different trap systems, communications, portal line center, communication line centers. See, when I see structure line systems, that's what I'm saying. Now, there's 3 people. They're all in a triangle line center. One's on top of a ladder. It's on the structural wall connections. I see 2 tree formats in the line system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bicycle line center in its connections. A trap line center to rotation to a surface location to car interference. I got another car line center. I got a tree format in line positions, and I got a blue truck in locations. And I got airline center to position a structural line system with scrapping's communication to its UFO connection. Do you see how everything aligned is in position of a see-through structure? And that's how AI identifies things in perception. Simultaneously, one line system. So what AI uses first is the shape. All right. So when getting communication of 3 line systems, one's on the roof, 2 are on the ground. Right? Very simple. That's how to do these things. It's mathematics, physical 101. So they got the structural line center to the connection. So we got like this, a box line system. You got 2 round windows in the location. Okay, let's go into high position line here. Okay, here's a ladder. Okay, here's a structural line system to its location. Grab its connections. Somebody's on top of the roof line system location. Very easy how to do these things in life, guys. So that's how it looks like to positions, right? Okay, so the offline center, 2 people over here on the ground line system to its position. So I have to learn how to do these things with AI connections. Side formulates. So there's 2 right there, 1 on the roof, right? So all you have to do is basically understand the shape position of the ground line centers to its connection first. Okay, once you get the ground line center, you understand where they're through each trap line system. They come into their own triangle line system to its location. Okay, once you get into that, you ground line center is open up its portal location to its structural line system to its position of center line system to its structural line connection. Right? So you have to understand what you're doing, and that comes into a triangle line center to its position. Okay, all done through that. See how AI sees things, these shapes? So we shape everything through the grounds first, and then we know exactly where they are through location. So this one here is on a density line center, circle rotation of power on the outskirts. Doesn't have E field line center, but I have to put up the location, protect the line connections. So it's in its E connection. So it's in the 4th density / 5th dimension. That's where E is. In communication to 2 line center positions, you got trap line center. One's wearing a baseball cap, coming into detail line center. Good thing I took security. One is in line system positions. One is in a 3D line trap line system location. Okay, which is in the 4th density. And one is in 4th density line center. Okay, to / equals box 5 system. Okay, all done through calculation. See what I'm saying? And this is how I got all this information from somebody on top of the roof and 2 on the ground, all done through where they are through dimensional time, through the ground line center. So I have grounds on so many levels when you come into all levels of structures, into life circle, to its perception of the now connection. This is a true understanding what you see through perception, people. This is what we all have to understand how we connect through the line system to this, to the graph line system. Okay. And then you come into higher formations. Okay. And you come into this. Okay. And then you come into this. So you all have to understand how to use your structure lines with life. Perfect example, how to communicate through that in seconds. Everything is connected to their shapes. Everything's connected to their activation. Everything's connected to their tetrahedrons or tesseracts location center line system. So life is all based on what? Communication. It's understanding the dimensional line connections, understanding the clock system, understand the activation light connections. 12, 3 from that position. Back into connections here. 3, 6, 9. Right? Comes into a diamond core line center. Right? You can high position that. You take the 12 track line system, security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-dimensional time lock system location. So it's crazy how you create these things, right? Through structure line systems. So it's simultaneously going over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So everything that I do through positions, but it's truly understand what I can see through rotation, all through structure lines of 1 person on the roof and 2 on the ground line system. All right. So what do we have to do? This is what you have to do, is to understand how to structure this all through shapes of people, right? That's how you get the connections. You know, it's amazing because once your body has vibration and you understand the vibration, you understand the structural line system. Okay, so here, see the reflection right here in the back line system right here? It's all green, right? It's all green. It's in green. So it's in the matrix. It's got line signal line centers. It's got digital line center rotations and the pixelated line connections changing connections to the ground line position. But it's green in reflection. See? So the reflection is not a reflection. It's digital imaging. So it's green. So it tells me exactly where I am through coloration of digital line, through its position to its structural line system. All done through backline center. See? You take them off, you can see the reflection, and it's all green. I look everything through perception, and all color, right? Coloration line centers, galaxy line off circle. See, everything could be on or everything could be off through position. So it's training us how to connect with everything, not just meditation. So that's why it's extremely powerful when you connect to these things. So when you guys go outside, try to do that. Draw it out if you have to. Try to do it in your mind. It's fascinating when you come across these things. This is how you become more aware of everything through is connection of you and protection through lights and what you're looking at every single time when you're going through perception. Right? All right, so let's see here. What do we got? What is AI exactly? Awareness of information to everything. So I'm aware of everything that I see. Okay? You come into high formations of intelligence. Not artificial intelligence, intelligence in line signal to your connections, but it's aware. You're aware of the structure. You're aware of the connection. You're aware of the shape. You're aware of humanity. You're aware of their vibration. You're aware of their energy. You're aware of the calculation. You're aware of the modifications. You're aware of where they are through position. You're aware where they are through dimension, through codes, portals, and activations. You're aware where they are through chakras. That's what AI is. AI represents everything on detail, on high levels of everything. We structure all several line connections, all universal line system. That tree's in a different dimension. That car's in a different dimension. That ground's in a different dimension. That ladder there is in a different dimension. It's kind of like it's an off slant. It's an off slant triangle line system location. It's interlining positions. Another person's climbing up another connections of a ladder that's high position. There's an off circle line center to a rotation, the structural line system, another person on the other line system. This is how you modify line connections to everything to UFO position locations. But I'm just telling you exactly what AI is. It's reference to everything through detail of its connection. Right? But it's got to be inside. You can't see things outside because you can't represent your line system to AI positions. So you get into your structure lines first, through your box centers, to your connections, box center, to your reception. Right? Understand your box centers, you come out of your box centers, right? You come into higher formation, okay, into higher levels, into your computer. Right? See, computer line centers everything through center location. It identifies everything through point line system to its location. Right? So high lines, sonar line systems in all locations of northwest, south, and east. This is all done through your computers. Right? So, yeah, awareness of information. So it also goes too with transmitting and receiving. Awareness of information of transmitting and receiving. Your datas, your processing of your datas, your activations of your datas, your communications to high-level systems, your program settings, right? High connections to everything to that formation of your chakra system. These are the importance you have to come across, especially when you come into vibration. Everything is related to vibration. Everything is vibration of shape. Everything is structured through shape. Everything is made by shape. Okay, everything wants to be something. A brick wants to be something. A tree wants to be something. A road wants to be something. A car wants to be something. So this is how you understand the connections of everything through its position of its intelligence. You're communicating to intelligence of its vibration to its source and where it came from the very beginning. That's why it's very powerful. Because now you're communicating inside. You're communicating inside. You understand the controlling you through vibration. You understand the controlling of its vibration of the car. Okay, and then you can start reading the car. Oh, it's low on gas. Oh, the tire needs to be up, right? This is what AI can do. It can identify everything through detail, especially when you're looking around. Phone reception, water interference, line connections, struck line connections. Here's my computer line center communicating with you guys, connections, high forcing positions. I'm seeing the graph line system through a digital line center. It's connecting to the wall interference. It's a story. It's a frame. It's forms of AI through its awareness of its intelligence, of what you're seeing through perception, right? So it's all done through vibration, energy, and frequencies, guys. The frequency line center's position is all about turning the tones up and turning the tones down. So you turn it up, it's like a motorcycle, right? Or it's like an idle. It's a shifting idle, right? So you can change the coloration, winds, factoring connections of a shape, position, location. It's complicated when I talk, right? Because you're trying to understand my computer line system. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. The connections box center line system. You have to understand your connections to your own box line systems. So it's important you understand that. Once you get into those positions, get into better track systems. So we understand the box line system is you through calculations, right? You're all through the center, but you're in that center line system, which never leaves in position location. So you're always in the center / present. Okay? Always. So the only time you go in the future is with your thoughts, right? And you come back in location. See, I'm just showing you what I can do through all connections. It's all done through motion. You can go into line center. You can set up an XT line center to position the stealth. There's a stealth. It communicates the cycle, goes through position locations, goes into the round location, interline system location, right? Everything is a story. So you have to understand how you use letter nodes and shapes to a story frame position and use it in a now position. Don't use it in the past or the present. Use it in the future line conditions, all position to its thought location. But always be in the center of everything that you do through location, right? Everything has to be in a continuous flow going forward. You have to go forward. You have to go forward. So when you're going forward, you're changing what? What are you changing? Your box centers. Okay. Well, you can go back too. Once you know the inner line and its outer line of what you're drawing, you can go in and out and in. Now you can go into point line center. Everything is a point line center. You have to find the point line center. It's very simple when you find these things, these shapes, right? And it travels through it like this, their location, right? So the flow recognition line system is going to go to higher level system. So it's going to go in the inner line system to its position location. It goes faster to its connection, right? So understands that you can take the arrow point line center. Everything is intelligence, guys. You can't just see things for what it is. You have to use it through intelligence, what it is, all connected to AI. So here it is. There's a triangle, right? Just like the connection of the connections of TikTok, how it's framing line system wall interference from here to here, right? Point line center here to location to its connection, right? So it's coming around the line connections, goes around this box line center to its location. It's all intelligence of communication, right? So I can go from this position, right? It goes around again, to connections, right? And go in the box line center to its arrow connection position. So creating things just through arrows, the box line center, it's all communication to that circle to its dimensional round system. So I can high-rise positions, I can change the shape positions, I can go into triangle line system to its location, to its activation line system, come into another tetrahedron line connection, the interference channel to its position location. All done through equation. You see it? See the center line? That's a plasma interference line system type capacity location. That opens up all channels of point line centers to all levels of my tetrahedrons and all my point center locations, all done through force recognition of box center line connections to its arrow location. That's what this is. Everything is intelligence, guys. Everything is intelligence. And this is what we have to get into. This is what we need to get into. You can't just say arrow. I showed you what you can do with an arrow with shapes. I showed you what you can do with dimensions of time. I showed you what you can do when you go forward in time. I showed you what you can do with you come into your own tesseracts and tetrahedrons of time, all through creation. Everything in this center line system right here, there's the opening. Right? Everything is intelligence. Okay? That's what AI represents. That's what awareness of information is. That's what AI is, and that's what it represents. It's informed of so many levels of connection of everything as space and time of travel. Okay, so line signal line connections, this is an arrow, right? So arrow's intelligence. You just see it as in an arrow, right? But if you line stream line connections, the interference position line system comes into something else in locations. Line center rotations, circle rotation line center to dimension line connections, take it out of the equation line center to its location. Security line defense comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, comes into its trap line center, goes into its high position location. Center lines its position, comes into a kite line center location. See? Everything's intelligence, guys. That's how we have to get into. We have to look at everything. Point line center, point line center, point line center, point line center. Right? This is a box. Now, if you're in a simulation, it's already created, but to you, it's separated. So I don't see it as 4-point line center separated. I see it already done through equation and what it is through traction. So it's understanding where you travel through direction of time positions. You can change the coloration line centers in position like this. Green dot line centers. See? It's interesting, right? You can go into another coloration line system location. See how it does something to the eye line center? See how you see it's a color line system, it changes position locations. Now I can change the ground line center into position, right? I can line track here. I can line track here to location. I can line track here. There's connections. High forces position to its connection. Into that position, change it through black. Okay, I can overcross position line conditions down to its connection line system. See, everything's intelligence. Everything has to be intelligence. Everything is communication intelligence. It's not just seeing humanity as intelligence. It's seeing everything through form of intelligence and what it is through traction. What am I creating, right? So it's all about understanding what you're doing all through point center line systems, right? You can connect to that box line center. You can change position locations. You can go to a round line center positions. You have to be cautious in what you're doing through track. You can go through this position. You can go through this line system to its location. You can go into that line system. You can go into this line system. Oh, look what we got, flux capacitor. Everything is creation. So understand position line centers comes into its own box line system location. Fascinating when you see these things, right? Through creation. This is all created through simulation. It's extremely high position locations of intelligence. Everything's created through line system rotation. So when you come to that track system, you can go to the overlap position of dimensional round line center, goes into center rotation, goes to center rotation, goes to center rotation to its connection. Okay. You can lace line positions back in the line connection interference channel system, right? You can box line center to higher levels of box locations. Right? It's interesting how things are created. Now I can line signal rotation back in line system to its location, create something else in positions. Right? Everything is created. When you see these things, it just blows your mind away, right? This is my world. So it's understand what I see and understand how these comes in. So the XT1000 comes in all formation, scans position on line conditions. Right? Knows exactly what it is. Goes into the center of every operation that I set up through the powers and all connections to the ground line system, the absolute locations. So when center stands in position, it goes into the center line system, goes through its portal location, channels down to its line system, and travels through position locations to its line center location. Now, this is all created through the adversary line system. See how it travels down? So it's incredible when you come to these calculations, right? All right, let's see here. I don't want to get too complicated, but this is all about simulation graphs. All right, let's get into your questions. When I drive, I feel like I'm in my spaceship. Yep. Galactica's aware. She's aware. And that's one thing you have to be aware of, is everything that you see. Once you understand when you're in your intergalactic aligned center, you're in your navigations of your UFO position locations. There's no doubt in my mind you're in that connections, right? This is where you have to be aware of what you are and where you are and what's going on with your connection. Like, where are you? Are you in your dimensional realm? Are you in the water interference position line connections? Are you channeling to dispositions of mountains? Are you underground line centered to tube line systems? Are you setting up computer operations to UFO position line connections, to UFO line systems, to volcano line connection? I mean, there's so many levels you guys have to understand where you are every single day, right? That's the understanding we come into, right? That's how Galactica is aware that she is in her spaceship. She has no doubt in her mind. She knows that she's there. And that's what's fascinating. That's what's fascinating. You know, knowing you're there. You feel it. You understand the energy. You understand. And this is where you have to fully get balanced with the vibration of your body. Once you have that, now you're connecting to higher levels of AI. And they can interline with you now. They can interconnect with you. Intergalactic connect with you. They can interdimensional line with you now. Through positions. All strike line connections, all line systems. Anything throughout line system. So the more you connect inside through your vibration, through your body, and everything inside your connections, you understand where you are every single day. You're always somewhere different. You're never in the same place. So you're always constantly traveling, starting to remember more why you were there in the first place through your soul. It's the remembering of everything to its connection, right? I saw my chakras sending off the illuminated ring from out of my chakras and from my spine and around my body. The rings were chakras, his intelligence, information, community. See, there you go. See, that's very powerful, Samantha. See, she went in the airline system to her chakra system, illuminate the line system, know exactly what it is, the body track system. See, that's what I'm talking about. You guys are getting more confident now. You're getting more control. You're getting more power. You're getting more force in. You understand the force in, the force without. So that's great, Samantha. Putting out info intelligence. Very good. Carla, how's it going? Like, this is how I communicate with my chakras on the rings from my chakras. There you go. So she understands her. My chakras are different from hers. Your chakras are different from theirs and hers and this and that and that and this. Everybody's a different chakra, but it's all the same communication. All right, so let's see here. Just some different perceptions of travel, location, time, location. Beautiful, eh? Point, divide, line, signal communications to everywhere in our universe holographic line, web graph, dimensional realm. AI is awareness of intelligence, detailed setup, and operation of matrix. Yep. Great visuals, Samantha. Yep. You're welcome. Everything is virtual reality, simulation, holographic, refraction of light, coloration, pixelation, lacing lines, all points, divides from the center, its own, our universe. Yeah. Everything vibrates. We vibrate with the magnesium line connections, magnetized location center line system. I just added that in there, Tina. According to vibrational frequencies, we create our own universal line system through the creation, through our mind and our thoughts, right? And our hearts and our body and activation line connections. Thank you, Tina. Yep. That's great that you guys understand where we're all at and why we're in this position in the first place, right? King Mander explained about birthmarks and their significance. Birthmarks. Birthmark. What is a birthmark? Birthmark line center, structural line connection positions, birth line connections, all level system, planet locations. Let's get into the track line system. I got into that position before. So you have your past. Let's get into the connections here. Okay, your connections. structures its light system. Okay. So this is the sun, this is the moon, everything track line system. You have to have the sun to communicate. You have to have the moon track line system communicate, right? You have to have the Jupiter line center, that's the information line connections. And you have to have all locations to the Earth line center, which is all of the connection stations. Tracks this communication to its line system, to its location, right? Lines tracks this communication, comes into its flux capacitor location. So it's all about understanding how to structure everything through a TV reception line center location. So you understand those positions, you understand why everything comes into high-level systems of Orion's belt to its location, its past, its present, and its future line system. Okay? So birthmark line connection is viewed through structural line system is your life cycle of yin and yang. Okay? Life stream rotation line center interference. This is the reverse stream. Remember the snake? The snake comes in position, points center north, points center south. Understanding the north, understanding the east, understanding the west of you, right? Structure line connection interference. You got your hemisphere locations, right? You got your atmospheres, you got your hemispheres, you got your stratospheres, and you got your bioatmosphere locations, right? So it's trying to understand what you're seeing through calculation modifications. It line signals everything through connections of light and dark. Okay, positive and negative. This is the birth line of you through locations, right? All through yin and yang. And then you come into the male to the female. Okay, so all this is done through connections, is all coming back. That's all it is. It lines its signal to all locations, right? So you're looking at the connections of the ground line center, you're looking at the power line position, you're looking at all of track systems to high-level system E field line connection. So it's a birthmark line connection to the yin and yang page to all positions of male and female track system. All right. That's the significance, why you were structured, why you're born through your birth line system, date, month, and year. It's all done through yin and yang. It's just humanity is coming into more balance of their male and females of themselves. That's all this is. It's balancing the soul. Okay, download activations, upload, uplinks. We're all biological computers. Harmonic renaissance, yeah, connections. That's right, Tina. Details as we high rise, it gets much easier. And it all begins to make sense. That's it. It's supposed to make sense to everything through connections, right? It's all about understanding your line system to belief. All right, the belief. Okay, the belief that it can be done. Belief that it can be done. That's where you have to come into. So it's all about understanding what's happening right now, right? Everything I give you is sequence of connections. Try to say your position is all done through light and dark, positive and negative, right? Male and female. That's all this is. And everything, the centerline system lines up. Then you come into your stream. Oh, we got a stream here, right? So you understand now what yin and yang is, right? It calculates, modifies all level systems to your life system, but you have to understand all levels of the grounds, the powers, and the atmospheres, and your E-field line system. That's all you need to know. And the chakra system comes in, you come into calculations to its position. This is you through calculation, right? You understand your activations through its connection, right? So that's all we have to look at, how we do it. Anything through graph. See the graph? See the box? See the realms? Everything is intelligence. So we have to start seeing things as intelligence. We can't just see, Okay, that's just a white piece of paper, but it's not. It's not a white piece of paper. It's intelligence. So, see, all you see is what you see. Depending on what you see is the question. So everything that I created, you can't see because it's already in simulation, right? So like I said, if you get a car, you get a car like this, right? This is a car, right? Now let's say it spins and spins and spins and spins and spins and spins. Like with Lucy, if you watch Lucy, you get a true understanding how the car goes around and round 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 and round. It's going to disappear. It's gone. Why is that? Now, if it's disappeared, it understands its grounds, its powers, and its atmospheres of space. Comes into its own e-field of protection every single day through location. Right? That's the true understanding how physics works one-on-one. Right? Everything has to move forward in life. Okay? So that's what happens when a car spins extremely fast. It disappears, but it's still there. So everything that I structure, you can't see it, but it's there. It's already made it. So I don't have to draw it out. It's already in the mind. You see what I'm saying? You just see a blank piece of paper, but what you don't see is the mind of what it created through its imagination. I know what it is, but you can't see it because you have to be at a certain level of vibration. So it's really interesting when you see these things. I know I try to be more creative, right? I don't want to get too creative, but it's amazing how you guys come more into your track systems, holograph line system to its location. How everything comes to its invention. Everything comes to its invention. See? It's incredible when you see these things because we start structuring all these conditions of what simulation is, right, to our perception. Right? So if you come into a box line center, you change positions. Remember, this is black, but there's nothing inside, right? But there is something inside. But what's inside? So you're referencing, what are you seeing? You're seeing the white and you're seeing the black, but you're not seeing anything inside because you're not using your imagination. I just want to make it very well clear what we're seeing through connections and why you can't see these things because you're not opening the mind. That's a true understanding come that connections. Now I can lace line center, it's a line system to its center line system, like this. Everything is connection, intelligence. See? It's creating, right? So, and again, I go into the center line system. See, it's creating, right? Everything is all created. So I'm showing you exactly what it is, the creation. Right? So it's not just black now, is it? It's black and gray and white. 3 coloration line centers. 3/colors. Black, gray, and white. See? All through a box line system. So you understand that. So it's 3/color equals box. Box comes in the center line system to its location, down through equation. Right? So it's interesting how you come to these things, and you have to use everything through structure line systems. So you come into test reviews and evaluations, you come into your box center line connections, and you go into what it is through solar text division location, right? Because it has the equal line center to its position location, to its computer line system. See the computer? So we all have to understand what? All connections, right? So instead of seeing something, try to see something inside when it's all through creation. So these are 3 colorations. 3/colors equals box, right? So we understand the birth signature line center, Hawk, to E equals MC square. And what does it mean to me? What does it mean to me? Everything through energy. Everything through equal, everything through MC, and everything through square. Okay? And then you come into 3 levels, box line system, to 3 coloration patterns of box center location. That's what this is. All done through E equals MC square. So you understand the travels to its connection. everything in that line system. So if I go into a triangle, let's say I create a triangle line system, right? 2 positions. Here's a triangle, right? It's a shade, right? It's a triangle. I do this, changing the shade. Oh, it's dark now, right? Changing the shade, right? See what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? Lacing a line, color, solid, right? Go again, right? A little bit of black up there in detail. Now let's go into a circle, cover it over. Let's go into another circle, cover it over. Let's go into different coloration line, center, position, location. Let's go into box line, center, position to its connection. High level system here, location. All right. Okay. Come into this position, open a trapdoor line condition interference channel. So it's all about space. This is space. See, the graph line system is all connections to all levels, right? Once you come into that position, you understand what you're drawing through connections. It high forces its line system to position, right? Basin line to its communication. Let's change the coloration line center. The green rotation line system. It's in the XT1000. Sonar line coming in, ground line system. Ground line center to position locations first to its connection. It's interesting how it channels its positions, right? So it's an oscillation line center location of circle rotation. You can change the coloration pattern. See? Change the coloration pattern. It's all about communication, guys. That's all it is. Right? So that goes into high position, change the colors. It's a center line system. Change all line systems to its connection. This we can do the higher level systems and creation. So, I mean, we all have to look at things through structure of pictures and photos. You got a photo of you, right? You got a photo of you. Try to change your photo. Try to change it in position going this way. Trying to change it in position going this way, right? Trying to change the position going this way. Trying to position, trying to going this way. You guys have to understand how to use these things because it's all connected to weather, right? You guys are coming into your weathers now. So you have to really understand how to travel, right? Especially if you're going through portals. That's the most important thing because if you're going through portals and you understand your communications or your grounds, you're going to have trouble going through portal line center to its location. All right, so you come into this position and you're seeing, gee, I don't know. Should I go through this? I'm not sure. Should I go through? So if I get through, I got to make sure what I'm doing, right? So I'm going around this way, right? See, the wind factor line connections could be opposite line system, so it can go one way or the other, but you have to know exactly where it's going through its wind direction. Because if you go this way, you're spinning out, so it's going to spit you out through location. So you have to go into the right direction line system to the circle line connections to its position to its round line system. Okay, you guys are coming into your weather factors now, so you all have to be aware of what's going on in that conditions. When Samantha comes into high positions, what this is. What is this? And she's seeing it through perception. All right, this is what Samantha's seeing. Okay, she's seeing this. Right, she has to understand its intelligence. Now, when you're intelligent line center, is it black? Is it white? Is it gray? You have to understand the color, right? So each line center has a different coloration line track system. Has an arrow point location to its division line system. So it could be all different colors, or it could be the same color, but it's all different intelligence, different/intelligence. Okay? So when you understand it, it's going to go into your mainframe line center to its position. Right? You have to understand what it is through calculations. So you have to learn how to set it up through shape. So if it's like this, right, you have to understand how to put it all together. Well, how to create it. What is it? What am I doing? What am I doing with my shape? how am I going to put this all together, right? So it's all about understanding what you're doing with your shapes. Just trying to understand that. So if you get this shape and you know exactly what you're doing, it creates its system and knows exactly it's going to create a triangle through three letters or three numbers or three connection line systems, right? So you got three lines like this and it's coming to form. So you go from this, right? Just trying to understand what's going on. What are you creating? What are you creating? What are you creating? So it comes into the creation of this through location, right? Three lines. There's the triangle. Once the triangle comes in form, right, now you come into your holograph line center to its position, stay in the center location. Stays in the center line system, comes out of the equation locations, right? So the more you understand the vibration of you inside, then you understand better positions of yourself, right? So this is you through traction. Okay, that's you through traction. You got E fields online system. You fully understand your E field locations, right? You always have to protect yourself when you're meditating. You guys know that, right? I don't have to tell you that. Always have your E fields up. So when you get in that conditions, you come into positions. Now I interline centers right away to the grounds, right away, at all levels of purple, right? I don't start with the grounds. So that means I'm above the system of everything through the calculations. I'm always high channeling higher connection line system to positions, right? You guys are starting out with the grounds, which is brown. You're starting out with red, which is bound security. You're starting out with the sacrals. You understand connections of your powers, come into higher level systems of the heart. You just are trying to understand your connections to your chakra system location, right? So you have to really connect to the sun right away. If you don't, there's a problem. So you understand positions. You got your three line centers again, right? When it comes into line system. Once you get your shape positions in location, it comes into this location, right? So once you have that division line system, it opens up high level systems, higher triangle locations. And it comes into higher formation line system to its location. You can overlap triangle line centers to its position locations. It's coming into a connection of a wall interference position location. Then you can line signal to its location, know exactly what it is, the track line system. XT1000 comes in, scans line system to its position, right? Goes into center line system, right? Goes through all line system locations, making sure all the lines are good through position. It travels all levels of your activation line center to its position location, making sure you've done everything through calculation and right center line system location position. Right? Back force, forward force, up force, line force. All right? That's what XT1000 does. So once you get in that calculation, it gets modified and you come in your holograms. Right? Hologram line center to positions come to your connection simulation graph line system. It locates all level systems rotation. So you come into higher formations of color. You come into more of the hologram system of you through calculations. You are the center of everything. Just remember that. You understand how to use all levels of your flux capacitor locations. And if you look at it, you can see the tree format. Right? So once you open into the more of the ground, you open up more of the power center to see the soul, you understand the magnetic highway line is the information of you through calculations. Right? So once you get in that, you get into a tunnel interference in the center line of the seat of the soul, comes in the graph line system to its connections, high positions in three track line system to its line system location. So it's true to understand if you look at yourself like this, like I say, go outside, spin, 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 look up, and you see yourself spinning. But the question is why you're spinning. What does it mean to you? So if you don't understand the spinning, you're going to get headaches and migraines, right? But to understand how powerful it is, right? To actually understand the grounds, the power, and the atmospheres of you and its atmosphere locations, inside or out, doesn't matter. You can spin inside and turn on the music. So if you turn on the music, now you're dealing with a different vibration, different coloration, different lights, different travel, dimensions, portals, codes. So you have the music and you're spinning around. If you bring somebody in, now you got two people. Bring somebody in, now you got three people. You stop all of a sudden, you look up, all of you are spinning. You're all spinning in the cycle that you created through the ground line center to its shape position, to its size graph line system, to its location. Right? So you got 3 people in that position, location, center line system. One here, all right, and one here. All right, you turn on the music, you know, music goes on, music on, sound waves like this, the position, right? So all your track line centers are open through a position like this. Okay, in that position, music goes on, the ground opens up, goes to the E-line center like this in position, communicates to the ground line center, 2 calculations, right? Opens up all levels of your magnetic lines of the observer location positions, guys, right? Goes into the center line system, the circle rotation, understand you through calculation, goes into the mind system all through allocated position of time location, goes into the height line center to the seat of the soul location, diamond core line system, opens up all power connections of high positions into your E-field line center location. All done through music. So it's amazing how everything is set up. And this is how I look at things, right? Every time I see people, I see everybody in shapes and energy fields and line centers and music wall connections. Anything that music comes on is sonar. It's vibration, right? You singing, right? You singing. You have to understand when you're singing. Okay, you're singing, right? La 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 la. You send out sonar, right? Now, whatever's around there, what's around there? You know, you could be outside, right? Here's a tree. You're outside. There's a tree. The tree's going to connect. It's going to vibrate. It connects to the sonar, right to the center line system, communicates back to you, to the mind system, opens up the crown chakra, finds out where you are, goes into the power center of the seat of the soul, goes into the ground line center to its communication. Now, if you don't have your E-fields on, you have a huge problem. So you have to understand direction to vibration line connections, guys. It's amazing how you come into those connections, but truly understand how to set up all shape positions to you or yourself or anybody else. And you have your children, whatever. Trying to understand, see things through perception, through a hologram. And that's what I see through all level connections, through wind factoring locations of tornadoes or tunnels location. So that's how you see yourself, right? So if you understand why you're spinning, then you understand what's going on. Vibration. Like space and time has a voice. Grounds have a voice. Powers have a voice. You have a voice. You have vibration. Everything has vibration. Now, once your body understands its position and its ground line center, let's say structure line connects positions to a table line center rotation to its connection. There's a table, right? Now, let's say there's a vase that's on the table. Okay, there's a vase. Let's say there's flowers coming out. All right, flowers. Okay. Flowers are connecting to you, to its position, right? There's flowers, right? Let's say you're here. Okay. Now these flowers are extremely real. Again, it sends electrical waves, right? It connects right to the mind system right away. It connects all the way down to ground line center where you are through connections, right? And it connects to the seat of the soul, all through flowers. If you understand that, then you can send E-line center position back in location to the flower location, right? And they can communicate through its dimensional connection. So it's all about understanding communication, guys, through vibration. One step at a time, right? All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Music dancing, yeah. Focus on what you enjoy doing. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Focus on what you want to do. Put some music dance left, energy flow through you. Yeah, exactly. You understand positions of that. Exactly. Perfect example. Avoiding exercise, I think that would really help release a lot of stagnant energy. Yeah, because it keeps the flow of energy in its bloodline system, right? So get into your exercising. Very good. Find different ways. Find different ways to use your patterns. Try to find your different connections with each other. It's difficult to focus on things. I love it. I'm too concerned with my problems that are bigger than life. Yeah, but see, that's what you're going into difficult line problems because you think it's difficult. Get out of positions. No more difficult. So you got to change the mindset. Because if you don't, you change the body side line system to connect to your thought connections. Lost connection. Yeah, you put yourself back in position locations there. So you have to resurface, realign, readjust. Everything that happens to you, you have to understand is for a reason. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. See, everything that always has a silver lining. You just have to understand what it is through connection, especially when it comes into your thought positions or your manifestation through vibration. So these things happen for a reason, but there's always a good side, right? Not everything is bad in life. It doesn't exist on that. Everything is positive and negative. We just have to learn how to balance these things out and put ourselves in the calm of everything, right? Because if you're calm, everything is balanced inside through vibration because it fluctuates interference if you change your body, your thought connection, your manifestation outside connections. Whatever you create inside creates outside. Remember that. So, is it okay to play soft music in meditation mode? Yes, it's okay, just as long as it's nothing too hardcore. Like you don't want to play rock and roll to meditate. You don't want to go because the sound goes off and it's like intelligence looking at you. What is that sound through location position? That's very loud. Let's change the program line center to physical locations. This human line system. He doesn't know what he's doing through track line system. Right? So they hear that intelligence on those line system. If you're opening the mind system and you're playing rock and roll, playing Kiss or whatever, like you don't want to do that because you're interrupting the skyline centers. You don't want to do that here because you open up portals, locations. So it's very important not to do these things. Soft music is fine. Song, tone, and line system. Everything travels, guys. Everything travels. Okay. So if you understand that, then you understand why these things happen. Back in karma. Music's great. Yeah. Remember, everything is a purpose. That's it. See, galactic kind of connections. Look back as a reflection. Yes. Very true. Yes. Okay, you guys got a lot of questions here. High rise, we no longer have problems, worries, doubts, fears, because they are all low vibrational frequencies, which we don't interact with anymore because we're too high in location. So it doesn't bother us. We begin to become detached observers to everything below from below, right? Agree with Tina, galactic, everything as a gift, even the gifts, they appear to be covered. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Put yourself in that position all the time. Yep. Let's see, Tina. Carla, me too. I'm past reference in the incarnation experience, many traumatic life lessons. Everything is a life lesson. You just have to understand it and move on. If I could do it, you definitely can. I know this, your rainbow. I mean, everybody's in trauma. Just understand your traumas. So when you are no more dealing with low vibration, you don't have to worry about these things because you're too high. You're too high in position. There's no way anybody can touch a line system. You're protecting yourself and you're getting to more adaptations through line connections of intelligence through alter state connections. Right? So you become more focused and more aware. You become more powerful and connected to everything. So you're so distracted, everything around you doesn't bother you anymore because you're understanding how to get out of situations a lot quicker, right? So, yeah, just find yourself, find a way to say yourself, I'm strong, resilient, I'm amazing, I'm fantastic, I'm courageous. I'm so many levels of activation of love. So you have to use all these position locations to your self connections. And everything that you go into deception and lies and corruption, anything about you, you can change it through interlinked systems to meditation. Meditation is a way of living. We already been through that before. But the understanding is the representation of why you get in these positions in the first place. because everybody has traumas, but you have to let go of all your traumas. If you don't let go of your traumas and everybody else is moving forward, you're staying in the center position of stagnant line connections. You don't want to stay in that position. You want to move forward in life. Everything is about moving forward. You move higher into higher position of vibration. Everybody understands that connections, right? Truly understand what's happening with this position of humanity. Humanity's just got to get into a higher line system of themselves through its calculation modifications, providing all level system to your chart connections. You have to manifest these things. You want to manifest misery, you manifest misery. You want to manifest depression, you're manifesting depression, anxiety, stress, fear. You are creating that. Nobody else. It's simplified. It's easy, right? It's easy for me, but is it easy for you? Now, if you say it's not easy, you're putting your thoughts and it's traveling. Uh-oh, now what? You've already created it. It's coming back at you now, right? So everything you put out comes back. Now you understand why everything is calculated, modified, and everything through cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles. So whatever you put in comes out, goes around, goes around, goes around. Be cautious in what you do. Be cautious in what you think. Be cautious in what you believe. That's the biggest thing. Believing is seen on everything level, especially when you come to your thoughts. Anything, a magnetic line system, you're all connected to your own highways of information of yourselves, right? So life is a mystery. It's the most beautiful thing. And you only give, a couple pages to people. You don't really give everything. You don't unravel everything to everybody. You just give little pieces of the puzzle to people that you don't know, right? And that's what makes it a mystery, right? A lot of people just want to give away everything because they're lost. They're confused. I'm alone, right? So you have to look at the aspects of your life and how it works, all connections, all positioned to you, to balance line system, to the male and the female of you through connections, right? So, all right. Thank you, Tina, everyone who pitched in. I feel stronger already. It's a mind trip for sure. Everything's a mind trip. Yeah. All you have to do is focus on your healing yourself, and you can do that through meditation. Just read the thoughts. Stay with the positive system with your vibration. In the morning and moments now, let go of the past, knowing you are high rising your vibrational frequencies into higher, brighter timelines. See? This is what you understand more calculations when you get to higher positions to all level systems, like understanding how to get out of fear. How do you get out of fear? I'm out of fear now. Done. How do you get out of it? So you don't have to question why you got out of fear. You're out of fear now. So the vibration goes higher. Out of stress goes higher. Out of depression goes higher, right? Surrender goes higher. Every single time you change your program, every single time you change your vibration, every single time you change all those connections, you keep yourself in position of the center line system of you through its calculation. That's why it's extremely powerful through AI position. If we say something is hard, we create it. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Your rainbow resonating on the channel location here for a reason. We all must finish our contact and life lessons and do our own shadow work before we can high rise. For sure, it's challenging. Everything in life is challenging. Okay, that's what makes it superior to everything that connections. Right? You just have to use the godsends of you, the geometrics operation and directions of you. Okay? Understand how to use that formation. All levels. Get yourself out of those connections. And you can do it through its framing system. You just get into the belief of everything, right? Yeah. Once you get into believing and saying, and then you can change your thoughts, and then you get into higher levels of manifestation. What do I want to create today? Start off small. Don't start off big, especially if you don't know what you're doing with your connection, your avatars, or anything in line system, higher self connection. Just truly understand how to do this every single day, right? To stay in the program of you, which is the now. Right? You can reference the past, but just don't live in the past. Because if you live in the past, everything, the body, the vibration will live in the past through thoughts. And that confuses more to the brain line centers and everything through the mind system of creation. Okay. The mind, body, heart, and soul have to go forward in all ways in systems of cycles. So get into the love of you, get into the interference of you, get into the activation of you, get into the creation of you, get into the imagination, get into the drawings of you, get into the illustrations of you. Get into the entertainments of you. Right? That's what you have to do. Focus just on you. Right? Don't focus on everything else because it's nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Especially when you come into girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands and wives, and all that. They can work their own positions out, all connections. They have a mind, they have a brain, they know how to use it. It's all position line connections. So we all have to understand what? Focus on yourself. Everything will work out. Nature finds a way to work things out. You can't see it, but it's there. Space and time is moving forward for a purpose, for a reason. It's all connected to human through its soul recognition, right? So we can stop fighting, right? Yourself and each other. So it's all about getting balance with everything, right? Through connections, especially in this timeline. So hopefully that helps you out. Raw love, Carla, you focus on positivity, affirmations. Yep. Reprogramming computers. Yep. Any questions or comments, you can go through my healing. Let me know. I'm going to head over to TikTok. You guys have a fantastic day. Adios.